Twitter has temporarily locked Kanye West out of his own account following his anti-Semitic, not alleged, anti-Semitic and disgusting declaration of war on Jewish people. So I'm gonna read what he wrote verbatim. He says, quote, "I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people."
I woke up and burst into tears. DEFCON 3 on Jewish people? What are you doing?
Let me explain to you what Ye means when he says he's going to go DEFCON 3 on all Jewish people and black people are Jewish, so he can't be anti-Semitic. What that means is, I have no idea. I don't even have a good guess. I hope it doesn't mean what it looks like.
Kanye West, you fat pile of shit. You washed up fat pile of shit. Jewish people are going through enough. We don't need your fat fucking dusty ass. People are saying he's mentally ill. No, you're just stupid. Let me tell you something. If your mother was still alive, she would be embarrassed. You're an embarrassment to Danda. You're an embarrassment.
And we knew this was coming. It was a slow build over the past couple of weeks. And it started with Kanye saying in an interview on Tucker Carlson that Jared Kushner was only out to make money.
You know where he made these peace treaties? Where was that? Do you know the facts on this right here? So I'm like...
I think that was between Israel and some of the Arab nations.
I just think it was to make money.
Pretty good. And then the next day on Instagram, he texted P. Diddy and said that he was going to show the Jewish people telling P. Diddy to attack him, that he was going to show him that he could not be intimidated. Then, on Saturday, after he got banned on Twitter for that, or rather after he got banned on Instagram, temporarily suspended for that post, he goes over to Twitter and says, gloves off, DEFCON 3 on Jewish people and their agenda. And then he said, who do you think created cancel culture?
And Jonathan, I want to read you an op-ed in the Financial Times. Endeavor's CEO, Ari Emanuel, is calling on businesses to cut ties with Kanye West.
But as Jews, we have a stake in this. We also have a responsibility to speak out. We are called to repair the world.
He writes this: it's not enough for Twitter to lock the rapper Kanye West out of his accounts. West's business partners across the fashion and entertainment industry also need to speak out and take action. Silence and inaction are not an option.
And there is clearly some kind of a mafia. I'll give you a perfect example. It was Ari Emanuel of WME that called for a total boycott on Ye. Ari Emanuel's two brothers are Zeke Emanuel, who is the architect of Obamacare in the Obama White House, and his other brother is Rahm Emanuel, who is the chief of staff for Obama and the mayor of Chicago. Their father, Benjamin Emanuel, was part of the Irgun, which was a Zionist terrorist group in the 1940s.
And before there was an Israeli army, there were three underground Zionist militias: the Haganah, the Irgun, and the Lehi. They were comprised of mainly Jewish migrants to the British Mandate of Palestine, with the aim of helping usher in the Jewish state by any means necessary.
So we're supposed to believe that if Rahm picks up the phone and gets on a call with Zeke and Ari, and they talk about their jobs, which are running Hollywood and running the Obama White House, a conspiracy, if we acknowledge that happens, we're called anti-Semitic. But it's the truth.
I said I'm going DEFCON 3, right? And the actual, I spelled it wrong. I have a tendency to do that. I'm not quite John Legend, tight sweater level, spelling bee level.
I said DEFCON 3. What I wanted to say, what I meant to say was, no one's afraid of the media mob, which it is.
That's what DEFCON 3 meant. I'm going to call it out. It didn't mean I wish any harm on my
fellow you say you're going DEFCON 3 on them. Look.
And the idea of DEFCON was to get protected for a time like this. Let's lead with love. I have no association to any hate group. If any hate happens upon any Jewish person, it is not associated, because I am demanding that everyone walk in love. Even though there's been things that have happened wrong to me that made me want to speak up, that you guys saw in the past 2 weeks. You saw the power. You saw Ari Emanuel come out in public and ask, if that happened in public, what do you think happened in private?
The thing about it, me and Adidas, is like, I could literally say anti-Semitic shit and they can't drop me.
New this morning, Adidas has now officially severed ties with Kanye West, who of course legally changed his name to Ye. The German sportswear company is the latest brand to distance itself from him after a series of offensive anti-Semitic comments in recent days.
The sneaker behemoth putting out a statement writing, Adidas does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any other sort of hate speech. Fashion house Balenciaga and Ye's own agency CAA dropping the hip-hop star after he recently tweeted he'd go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people amid other offensive remarks.
I was with you when you was canceled all the way. We was going to eat every day.
Yeah, we never was unrich.
Yeah, ever. We was
never
still going
got
out to eat.
unrich.
The hotels ain't changed. The jets ain't changed. Just the headlines got a little bit different.
The headlines change.
What was the restaurant we ate that is closed down?
Beauty Essex.
It was Beauty in Essex.
Yeah.
We was going there to eat every day. I remember when they froze your accounts. Man, listen, I had to put my little American Express down. You was pulling up every day like, hey, Ye's over here eating. That's the first time I seen a billionaire have no access to money.
I went from being a multi-billionaire to not being able to use my Apple Pay. 4 nights ago, I couldn't use my Apple Pay because somehow Adidas was able to legally go in and freeze my money. And when I see this, I think, well, if this could happen to me, this could happen to other Americans. And for what? You know, this can happen to an American that didn't even steal anything, that didn't even hurt anyone. This could just happen to you for saying the wrong idea out loud, for expressing yourself.
And what you're looking at now was a disturbing scene that was captured on a 405 freeway overpass Saturday. That sign read, "Kanye is right about the Jews," referring to his recent anti-Semitic posts.
Chat, Nick just texted me right now, and I can't, oh my God, this that's gonna come on stream soon. Can I get some W's? I can't tell you, but Nick just texted me the dopest shit of all time. I can't tell you yet, but let's go.
What up, Kanye? How you doing, brother? He wants to talk. How's it going, my bro?
How you doing, Kanye? You come here too.
How you doing, bro?
Come to the office. Hey, good morning.
Hey, go and park my car. Park my car, lock my car.
Yeah, here, walk. This is Milo right here.
How you doing,
Working
Milo?
on the campaign.
Oh, right on.
Is that an announcement? I guess it is. Thanks, I accept.
Thanks so much for having me, Kanye.
Absolutely. It's Jay, bro, it's Jay.
Yay.
You can call me Kanye, everyone just
Sorry again, yeah, we're too used to it.
It's gonna take us a while to update, right?
Yeah.
But this is the update, we are the update. That's all we need to do. As a species, we need to update together. Everything's been so
We have a great show for you tonight. Very excited to be back with you here tonight on Friday. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Lots to get into. It's been a pretty crazy week. And I'm actually not going to be covering the news tonight because, honestly, I am the news this week.
Just 11 days after announcing his third bid for the White House, former President Donald Trump is under fire for having dinner with a well-known white supremacist and Holocaust denier, Nick Fuentes, at Mar-a-Lago. In a statement, the former president said Fuentes was merely a guest of rapper Ye, or Kanye West, who was also at the dinner. Trump concluded the statement saying, quote, I didn't know Nick Fuentes. Now, he did not denounce the anti-Semitic and racist screeds on which Fuentes has built his entire platform. And frankly, I shouldn't surprise you.
Do you deny the Holocaust?
No, I don't deny it, but I don't observe it as a religion.
Yep.
You know, this dogma, people say it's 6 million. I don't know. I think it was exaggerated. I think it was embellished. I don't know that 6 million exactly died. But I don't know. I'm not an expert, and I don't really even care about being an expert. To me, it's more about, like you said, I don't want this trauma imposed on me and for it to define our political order, because that's really the issue.
Well, that part I think is 100% reasonable.
And there actually is a very heated debate about really just what happened there. Yeah. Problem is it's an illegal debate in like 17 countries.
That's true.
So for me, it's like, I think we should go where the facts are, let the truth lead, and to do that, you need a culture of free speech.
Yeah.
Let me just say that there is no room in the Republican Party for anti-Semitism or white supremacy. And anyone meeting with people advocating that point of view, in my judgment, are highly unlikely to ever be elected President of the United States.
As you know, former President Donald Trump had a dinner with Kanye West and Nick Fuentes, a known white nationalist.
This administration, this president totally rejects bigotry, racism, anti-Semitism.
Nick, they say you're a white supremacist. Are you a white supremacist?
No, not at all.
Well, spend some time on that.
Yeah, you know, I'm a Catholic, I'm Christian, and so I believe that
I know that sounds white supremacist right there, but it's not. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I believe that we're all children of God, and so I think that black, white, red, brown, whatever, we're all siblings in a certain sense because we're created by God. I do, though, believe that there are races. There are black people, there are white people, there are Hispanics, and these differences mean something to people. They mean things to each other. That doesn't mean that we can't get along. That doesn't mean.
But the left's saying it's bad to even have a culture. They're saying none of us can say I'm this or I'm that.
In some ways, I think this ought to effectively end Trump's credible chances of being the Republican nominee or being president. It's just unacceptable behavior.
I think it's disgusting to invite people like that to meet with a former president of the United States.
First of all, I think Kanye West should be condemned for his anti-Semitic rantings. Anti-Semitism challenges the basic idea we have of civilization that should at least give the equal rights to every human being. And it just says we take a cluster of human beings, we take a group of human beings, Jews, we don't look at them individually. You could like somebody, you can dislike somebody, you can approve, disapprove. You disapprove of the lot.
I love Jewish people. I work with Jewish people. Yo, watch this, watch this. Some of my best friends are Jewish.
Right.
But the funny thing is, they are. I work with Dove Charney.
This merchandise has been stolen from Ye, formerly known as Kanye West.
I work with this guy every day. He's like my twin. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. And we work through that. We talk through it.
They're trying to blow this whole thing up and lay it on President Trump. President Trump had no clue who Nick Fuentes is.
Well, I didn't know he was coming, and he was with, as you know, somebody, Kanye. And Kanye asked if he could have dinner, and he brought Nick. I didn't know Nick at the time. And he did. He came, and along with a few other people. He brought a few people with him.
Here's a politician who you know well, who you think's a friend of Israel, meeting with and spending time with and allowing for this hate to take place. What do you think? You've talked to him, I imagine.
No, I didn't talk to him after.
Not about this, but...
No, I haven't talked to him at all for quite some time. But I can tell you this. I think it was ill-advised. I think it was a mistake. I said so. And I hope, he's probably smart enough. Not probably, he is a very smart man. And he probably realizes that this is a problem.
How did you originally get in contact with Ye?
So he tweeted the DEFCON thing. And I heard through the grapevine that he was talking to Alex Jones, who's a friend of mine. But Alex Jones, his producer, is not my biggest fan, but I knew she had his number. And so I got in touch with her through a couple of other people. I got his number, and I went out there with Milo and with John Miller and a couple people. And the idea was he wanted to run for president.
What is America's destiny?
what is best for our nation, our people.
I am Kanye West, and I approve this message.
Nick, make sense of what's going on. I mean, we've saw Kanye go on rants that make you look like a JV squad of anti-Semitism. Like, he went there, full on. You met with Trump, you're a huge Trump fan. He sort of walked back the meeting, right? He's like, yeah, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. He unexpectedly showed up. Make sense of what the relationship is with Kanye, what happened with Trump.
Well, they had a dinner scheduled. I came out there to L.A. To work with Ye on political stuff. And so I came out there maybe 4 or 5 days before the dinner. And the night before the dinner, we had a big session in the Donda headquarters, the Yeezy headquarters. And we were talking about politics and everything, and I really shined. You know, they were fielding questions, and unsurprisingly, it wasn't even about those topics that Ye was talking about. It was actually about how do we deal with the issue of gay marriage? And I said, well, you don't attack gay marriage. I said, you promote traditional marriage. So he loved that, and Ye invites me to go to the dinner with him the next day. And he thought it would be funny. He wanted to fly Spirit Airlines to the dinner. He just thought that would be funny. He's like, I'm going to meet the president on Spirit Airlines.
Okay.
Yeah, in coach.
Amy, you like that one?
It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah, so we wound up, the reservation got messed up, and so we wound up flying United, though, and we got there. And I wasn't even expecting to be at the dinner because I was told that I would probably be intercepted at some point because maybe
You're
if
on
Trump,
a no-fly list.
Well, not even necessarily that, but people are aware of me in the GOP, like Catalina Loft. They don't want me to have that level of access to the president. And so I thought, someone's going to intercept me. I'm not going to be able to sit down. But he came out at the Mar-a-Lago Club. He invited us to dine. You know, because they're both my heroes. I was always a fan of Ye for as long as I've been a fan of Trump. A lot of people that follow me know the story, but I called into your show when I was 16 or 17. I think it was a senior in high school in study hall. And I asked you about Kanye. I said, what, because Life of Pablo just came out. I said, what do you think about Kanye? And you said, oh, I like him, blah, blah, blah. And so it's crazy that was 7 years ago.
Nick has nothing to talk about, but he's been on hold for, I think, 3 hours now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I've just been sitting here in study hall. I'm in high school. I was wondering, what do you think about Kanye West? Because I know you love entrepreneurs, I love entrepreneurs, and everyone seems to think he's a jerk, but I don't know. I think it's kind of refreshing that he's damn good and he knows it and he tells everyone about it.
So it's like these two guys together was blowing my mind. And what's funny about it is that Ye is actually he's a little bit shy, actually.
Yeah.
I could tell that he was a little, and if you watch him on some of the talk shows and spending enough time with him, you could see that he was a little bit apprehensive. He was a little anxious because he loves Trump and he respects him deeply.
Oh, it's Kanye! What the? Kanye! Oh my God! Make America great again! Oh my God! Oh my God! Yeah! What the fuck? Kanye! We love you, Kanye! We love you, Kanye! What the fuck? It's Kanye! It's Kanye!
So he's a little quiet at first. It was actually very awkward because he wasn't talking a whole lot. And so Trump was trying to start a conversation with him. And what's really funny is Trump, he loves his iPad. He's like a big iPad kid. And he controls the music at Mar-a-Lago from the iPad.
That's sick.
He loves music. And so
I know.
He's like the DJ at that Mar-a-Lago. So his way to connect with Ye was he goes, you take the iPad, why don't you pick one of your songs? That was how he was going to connect. And so Ye said, okay. So he spent about 10 minutes finding a song. And for the Kanye fans, he put on Say You Will from 808s and Heartbreaks. It's sort of an unexpected song. But then Trump starts talking about the opportunity zones for black people. He's trying to connect with them as like a black voter. I'm like, we're way past that. I'm like, dude, we're watching Triumph of the Will. This guy is like a full-fledged anti-Semite. You're trying to connect with him like he's a black voter, telling him about opportunity zones and the Platinum Plan. I said, we're a little past that. But So he's trying to make conversation. It's not working. He starts talking to me a little bit. We're rapping with each other because I know everything about Trump. But then, and this was the story of the dinner, before we arrived at Mar-a-Lago, this girl who was with us, Karen Giorno, she was getting Ye some like intel about how to deal with Trump, like how to play this. And so there was this lawyer whose name was Nick, and he sent all this information to Ye about how we're going to deal with Trump. It was just like this like play-by-play, how do we handle Trump?
Interesting.
And so we're pulling up to the dinner, and we have all this intel, and Ye said, what do you think about this? And I said, I don't know, send it to me. So he forwards it to me, to my phone. Well, it turns out he accidentally forwarded it to a lawyer that Trump uses as well, whose name is also Nick.
Oh my God.
So he tried to send it to me. I never got the text. I was like, that's weird. I didn't get it. We said, oh, well, we walk in. He accidentally sent all this intel to a lawyer that Trump actually uses. So in the middle of the dinner, Trump gets a phone call. And he goes, just 1 second, it was this guy. It was this lawyer. And the guy says like, hey, Trump, this is a hit job. They are here to take you out. Like they sent me this intel by accident. They must have told them that this was a setup. So Trump hangs up the phone and his demeanor instantly changes.
Holy shit.
And he starts, and my right hand of God, he immediately starts dropping the F-bomb. Motherfucking this and that, just like, I've never seen him that angry.
Damn,
so
yeah.
furious. But it was also very subtle. He starts telling Ye, because the idea was Ye was going to run for president and was going to ask Trump to be his VP. So Trump starts telling these stories about all the black people that he helped that betrayed him. That was the subtext.
Shit.
So he says, I freed this rapper in China, the basketball player.
And what the hell was you thinking selling that shit in China, man?
I was in the wrong spot at the wrong time, for real. I'm at the desk, right, trying to buy some shit. I'm trying to buy the shades, trying to paint shit. They like, nah, you ain't got yen. But they checked my credit card in the back and shit. All the workers had went to the back, and them niggas was like, ain't nobody out here. And niggas start running out backpacks, wallets, and shit. Grab a glass, and he like, come on, bro, get that shit. We ran it as a group. That's why they said, like, it could be 3 to 10 years. Nigga, they took over, like, 10K worth of shit. They like, this shit organized? I'm like, no, I don't know them niggas next. I knew it was dumb, bro. I was about to go back. Them niggas like, you can't go back. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, he got, like, arrested or something. It was, like, an international incident.
Okay.
And so Trump was telling the story about how he freed this guy. And he says, so this basketball player, he's on the tarmac, he said, and the Chinese soldier slapped him across the face, the basketball player, and said, that's for disrespecting President Trump. That was the first story. The second story was about the rapper in, I think it was Norway or Sweden. I forget who. I think it was A$AP Rocky.
Yeah.
Got arrested up there. And he says, and I called up the president of Sweden, and I said, listen, you mother, you better release him right now. And the moral of the story was these were all ingrates. These are all black celebrities that he helped that betrayed him. And then he goes to Ye, and I hosted your wife, Kim Kardashian, and I released these, or commuted the sentence of these people on her behalf.
Yeah.
He goes, and she is a disgusting human being, he said. Yeah.
Dude, he's savage, bro.
Yes.
Fuck.
He goes, and she's such a disgusting, he goes, and you could tell her I said that. I want you to tell her. Tell her I said that.
This has been reported that the conversation got heated at some point.
It was really over the comments that the president made about Ye's ex-wife, Kim Kardashian.
What did he say?
Basically, not so nice words. And then Ye basically said, that's the mother of my children.
And I was sitting there like, well, I'm just like a guest.
What was Ye's reaction?
He had the same reaction that I did. He was totally taken aback by it, but he goes, that's still my wife. He goes, that's my wife you're talking about. And so it's very tense. And then then Trump was like kicking us out, basically.
Yeah.
He said, your airport is right across the street. I think it's time for you to go.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And Karen is like kicking him under the table saying, remember to ask him what you came here to ask him. And Ye goes, oh yeah, will you be my vice president? And Trump loses his in mind. And he goes, you can win at a lot of things, but you'll never win at this. He goes, you could be a celebrity, you're talented. He goes, but you'll never win at this. You better not run. Lost his mind. He had his arms folded like a mobster. I thought he was going to start swinging. Like that's how aggressive his demeanor was. Like straight up like a gangster, like Tony Soprano.
That.
I do too. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
and even went to me. He goes, you're a smart guy. Tell him he can't win. He can never win. You tell him now. He can never win. I know you work for him, but he can't win. And I was just frozen. I was like, I don't know. Maybe he can win.
Holy dude.
Yeah.